Back with another video on Ringer and talk about the startup sequence. Now, to get a clean reset, we got to get all of our reels to 0. Even if you're only playing one player, all of them need to go to 0. And then we have to get a reset on the horseshoe unit, and we have to get a reset on the shot counter. And just to test it out here, we'll make sure that we got a few steps on them. And then we'll also move our credit wheel to 0 and kind of show with that extra circuit with the 1 credit equals, or 1/4 equals 2 credits. If I just bump that switch, we'll see that the credit unit gets advanced twice. And then as I do that, it's going to pull in our 25-cent relay. It's also going to spin the motor if I hit the coin switch again. And it'll give us 2 more credits on the wheel. So you'll notice that with that bonus credit circuit, it doesn't restart the game. It just adds credits to our wheel that we can then use up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the credit switch from the inside, and then we can see that all of our score reels and all of our units are going to reset. So I'm going to tap the credit switch and watch it reset. And then notice part of the clean reset also is that the motor is not running. But now that the horseshoe unit is in the 0 position, we'll notice that our wheels here are in contact with each other because this is engaged. And you can probably hear it humming. And this coil gets kind of hot, especially if you have people walk away after they start a game. But once we click this is the same as spinning the wheel. That engaged circuit drops off, and now we're just on the momentum of this wheel if it was spinning. And that's going to move the lights across the inside until we get to a scored position. And I can actually see my lights here. So this is actually a ringer. So we got 3 points for that. And then in between the throws, it advances for a 1-player game. This one, remember, goes twice. And then the horseshoe unit needs to fully reset. But again, this is engaged and it's humming, and these are in contact with each other. So now when this pulls away again, I'll get back to a scoring position. And then the horseshoe unit knows where the points are at. And then our point relay needs to pull in as well. So now if I click this and we look at what's happening on the bottom panel, we have to pay attention to our cutoff and then our player relays. You can probably hear my clicks, but it's going to switch over. So now the engage relay is off and the player control relay is going to be held in until the horseshoe stops. And then once the horseshoe stops, this is going to release and then spin the score motor, reset the horseshoe unit, advance the shot counter, and then it's the next throw. Now, if we do that one more time, just so you can see what's going on, you'll also notice that the cutoff relay pulses. That pulses with every flick of the spin switch through that horseshoe relay, which also pulses this. So that's we'll do this again and just watch that pulse, and then it switches over. And then once that stops, that'll open up and do the next one. Now I'm trying to figure out what shot we're at here, because if we can get to the extra shot round. Okay, so now our lights are lit here, so this is the extra shot. So I'm going to get a ringer, and then we can watch what happens with our ringer relay and then our extra shot relay. So you'll notice that when we get going here, we should have kind of landed on a ringer. So this should be a ringer. So you notice that we have our extra shot and our engage relays move with that. And then that also activates our buzzer here. So you can get a shot of the buzzer in action as well. So that should be a ringer. And then we can just watch this a couple more times and then head over to the schematics. So next throw. And then whenever we get to the end, our game over relay needs to trip and open up. So now our game over relay is out, and then that switches all the power off to those circuits that run the game. All right, let's take a look at the schematics.